When Emily stepped inside that Sunday night, dragging her suitcase behind her, she looked like someone returning from a postcard-perfect escape. Her hair was tousled by the wind, her skin lightly bronzed by the sun, and her smile shone a little, too brightly to feel sincere. She crossed the room, slipped her arms around me, kissed my cheek, and behaved as if nothing in the world was out of place. "God, it feels so good to be back," she said with a cheerful laugh, dropping her luggage. Near the couch, I smiled in return, not warmly, not genuinely, but carefully. It was the kind of expression you wear when you already know the truth and are simply waiting for the other person to finish their performance. "How was the girls' trip?" I asked. "Oh, it was incredible," she answered, far too quickly. "We went hiking, did some wine tasting, just typical girls' weekend stuff." I gave a small nod. "Sounds nice." Then, resting against the kitchen counter, I spoke in an even tone. "Did you and Mike enjoy yourselves too?" Her expression locked in place. In that single second, the flash of fear in her eyes, every suspicion I had been carrying for weeks solidified into certainty. She tried to steady herself. "Mike, what are you talking about?" But her voice trembled, exposing her. I didn't rush to respond. I watched her carefully as she fumbled with the zipper of her suitcase, her hands shaking as if the simple act of unpacking might divert my attention from the guilt practically radiating from her. "You know exactly who I mean," I said quietly. "Mike, the one you called 3 times last night at 1:14 a.m., the same time your phone's location showed you at a beach resort 2 hours away from where your friends were staying." Her lip began to shake. You checked my phone?" I gave her another faint smile. "No, Emily. You destroyed my trust." She sank into a chair, eyes wide, breaths uneven. "It's not what you think," she murmured. "The oldest excuse, in the book. The line every unfaithful partner seems to memorize." "Then explain it," I replied calmly, my voice low and controlled. "Because from where I'm standing, my wife went on a girl's getaway that included one man. And it wasn't me." She covered her face and began to sob. I had seen those tears before. Tears that appear when deception finally collapses. Strangely, I wasn't furious anymore. I felt something colder. Final. Piece by piece, the confession came out. Mike had once been a co-worker. They reconnected. A drink turned into dinner. Dinner turned into what she called a weekend mistake. I listened without interrupting. Every sentence felt like another nail sealing the coffin of our marriage. When she finished, I asked just one thing. Was it worth it? She lifted her head. Mascara streaked down her cheeks. "No," she whispered. I nodded slowly. "Good. I swear, it just happened. It didn't mean anything." Her panic thickened the air between us, but it no longer mattered. I gently pulled my arm away from her reach. "You don't accidentally betray someone who would have given you everything," I said. "You made a decision. Now you deal with the consequences." Her crying intensified, filling the home we had once built together with shared dreams. I didn't shout. I didn't slam doors. I didn't create a scene. I simply gathered my bags and walked out, leaving her alone amid the wreckage of her own choices. In the following weeks, she called repeatedly. She sent endless texts. She even appeared at my office. I ignored them all. Every message carried the same plea. "Please. I'm sorry, but regret does not erase betrayal." For years, I believed love automatically included loyalty. I learned the hard way that it doesn't. Loyalty is a conscious choice, and she chose a fleeting thrill with a man who vanished the moment reality stepped in. Months later, a mutual friend mentioned that Mike had relocated to another state. Apparently, he admitted he wasn't looking for anything serious. The irony was bitter. She sacrificed her marriage for someone who never intended to stay. By then, I had moved into a modest apartment overlooking the city. It wasn't luxurious, but it was calm. There were no lies, no pretending, just quiet and room to breathe. One afternoon, she sent a lengthy email filled with remorse, begging for another opportunity. I read it from beginning to end and then closed it without responding. At the bottom she had written, "You were right. You were the only one who ever truly loved me." Maybe that was true. But love without respect isn't love. It's suffering. And I had endured enough. Now when I think about that evening, her walking in glowing after her so-called girls' trip, I understand something. That simple question, "Did you and Mike have a good time?" wasn't fueled by rage. It was acceptance. I didn't need to yell or demand proof. She had already forfeited the one thing that mattered most, my trust. And when trust is gone, everything built on it collapses with it.